how I became the favorite grandparent without even trying. Can I tell you a little secret? My grandchildren call me their favorite grandparent. And the funny thing is, I never tried to win that title. In fact, the harder I tried in the beginning, the more I seemed to push them away. But when I finally stopped competing and did something different, well, everything changed. Hi there, friend. I am Grandma Rose. I have 4 grandchildren, ages 6 to 17, and I have been at this grandparenting thing for nearly 2 decades now. Let me tell you, I did not always get it right. There were years when I felt like an outsider in my own grandchildren's lives, years when I wondered if I was even making a difference. But somewhere along the way, I stumbled onto a few simple truths, and they changed everything for me. Today, I want to share how I became the grandparent my grandkids actually want to spend time with, without bribing them with gifts, without exhausting myself. And honestly, without trying all that hard. If you have ever felt invisible or wondered how to truly connect with your grandchildren, stick with me. This one is for you. Let me take you back about 15 years. Picture me in a toy store, spending way too much money on the biggest, flashiest toy I could find. It was my first grandchild's birthday, and I was determined to be the fun grandma. You know the type. Arms full of presents, always saying yes to ice cream, letting them stay up past bedtime. Sound familiar? I really thought that was the secret. Buy enough toys, throw enough parties, spoil them rotten, and they would love me the most. And you know what? It worked. For about 5 minutes. The excitement would fade. The toy would end up forgotten in a corner, and I would be left wondering why my grandchildren still seemed more excited to see their other grandmother, who, by the way, barely brought gifts at all. I will be honest with you, it stung. I found myself in this quiet competition I never signed up for, comparing myself to the other grandparents, wondering what they had that I did not. Have you ever felt that way? That invisible pressure to prove your worth through what you can give? Here's what I did not understand back then. Children do not remember stuff. They remember how you made them feel. And all those expensive gifts, they were actually creating distance. My grandchildren started seeing me as a gift machine instead of a person who genuinely wanted to know them. But there is a better way. And it starts with something that might surprise you. I will never forget the afternoon that shifted everything for me. My grandson Ethan was about 8 at the time. His parents had dropped him off for the weekend, and I had this whole elaborate plan: amusement park, his favorite restaurant, a new video game I had researched for days. But when he walked through my door, he looked tired. Quiet, not his usual bouncy self. So instead of launching into my big plans, I did something out of character. I sat down on the couch, patted the spot next to me, and just said, "Hey, buddy, you want to sit here with me for a bit?" He looked almost relieved. He climbed up, leaned his head against my shoulder, and for about 20 minutes we just sat there. No talking. No activities, no agenda, just together. And then, out of nowhere, he started talking about school, about a friend who had been mean to him, about how he felt like he could never do anything right. Things I do not think he had told anyone else. That moment taught me something I will carry forever. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give our grandchildren is our presence. Not our presence. He did not need Grandma Rose the entertainer. He needed Grandma Rose the listener, the safe place, the person who was not going to judge or fix or rush him. From that day on, I threw out my rule book. No more elaborate plans, no more competing, just showing up, fully and quietly. And that is when things really started to change. Now let me give you something practical here, because I know you want real tips you can use. First thing, consistency beats intensity. Every time. I used to think I needed to make every visit an event, but here's what I learned. My grandchildren do not remember the big trips as much as they remember that I called every Sunday at 4 o'clock, without fail. That I showed up to their school plays, even the small ones, that I sent them a good morning text on the first day of school. Every single year. Think of it like a garden. You do not grow flowers by flooding them with water once a month. You grow them with small, consistent care, day after day. Grandparenting works the same way. Try this. Pick one small ritual you can commit to, maybe a weekly phone call at the same time, a monthly handwritten letter, a silly goodnight text with the same 3 emojis. Whatever it is, make it yours. And do not miss it. I would love to hear in the comments what ritual you will start this week. Second thing, listen more than you talk. This one was hard for me. We have so much wisdom, so many stories, so much advice we want to share. But I discovered something. My grandchildren opened up most when I closed my mouth and truly listened. Here is my trick. When my grandchild tells me something, I respond with questions, not advice. Instead of saying, well, here is what you should do, I ask, how did that make you feel? Or, what do you think you will do next? It is a small shift, but it tells them their voice matters, their opinions are valid, and Grandma is not here to lecture. She is here to understand. Third thing, become their safe space, not their second parent. This is important, so stay with me. Your grandchildren already have parents. They do not need another authority figure telling them to clean their room or finish their vegetables. What they need is someone in their corner, no matter what, someone who loves them without conditions. Now, I am not saying throw all rules out the window. We still respect what their parents have set up. But we can be the soft landing place, the person they come to when they have made a mistake and are scared to tell mom and dad. The person who says, I love you, without adding, but you need to do better. Picture this. Your grandchild comes to you with a problem. Maybe they failed a test or got in trouble at school. Instead of disappointment, imagine their relief when you wrap them in a hug and say, thank you for trusting me with this. Let us figure it out together. That is how you become their favorite person. Not through toys or trips, through trust. Now here is something I want you to really understand. You have something no other grandparent has. You have you. For years, I tried to copy what I thought good grandparents did. I tried to be crafty when I am not crafty. I tried to be athletic when my knees do not cooperate anymore. I tried to fit into someone else's mold, and it felt exhausting and fake. Then one day, my granddaughter Sophie said something that changed everything. She was about 10. She looked up at me and said, Grandma, I love that you always smell like cinnamon and you tell the best stories about the old days. That was it. That was my superpower. Not fancy outings, not expensive gifts. She loved my stories. She loved sitting in my kitchen while I baked, hearing about what life was like when I was her age. She loved the simple, real me, so I leaned into it. I started what I call our story sessions. Every visit, I share one memory from my past. Funny ones, embarrassing ones. Sometimes I pull out old photographs. Sometimes I show her how to make her great-grandmother's cookie recipe while telling her about the woman she never got to meet. Friend, your superpower might be completely different from mine. Maybe you are wonderful with puzzles. Maybe you have a gift for making people laugh. Maybe you are the best hugger in the family. Whatever it is, embrace it. Stop trying to be the grandparent you think you should be, and start being the grandparent only you can be. Your grandchildren will love you for exactly who you are. I promise. Now, here is something I did not expect. When I stopped trying so hard, my relationship with my grandchildren improved. But so did my relationship with their parents. You see, when I was in competition mode, I was unconsciously undermining my son and daughter-in-law, sneaking extra cookies when they said no dessert, letting the kids stay up late just to be the cool grandma. It was creating tension I did not even realize. But when I shifted my focus to simply being present and supportive, when I started respecting their rules while still being a loving grandmother, something changed. My daughter-in-law started inviting me over more. My son started calling just to chat. The whole family softened. Here is a truth that took me years to learn. Being the favorite grandparent is not about competing with anyone. It is about adding warmth to the family, not stress. When you support the parents, when you follow their boundaries with grace, when you make their lives easier instead of harder, you become invaluable, and the children notice. They see how their parents trust you, how they relax around you, how they smile when you walk in the door. That peace, that security, it makes children love you even more. So let me wrap this up. Becoming the favorite grandparent is not about trying harder. It is not about spending more money or planning bigger adventures. It is about showing up consistently, listening deeply, creating safety, and being yourself. It is about those quiet moments on the couch, those silly text rituals, those stories around the kitchen table. It is about making your grandchildren feel seen, heard, and loved without conditions. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop trying to be the favorite, when you let go of the competition and just focus on connection, that is exactly when you become irreplaceable. If this helped you today, I would be honored if you hit that subscribe button and joined our Grandparents Bond family. We are all in this together, learning, growing, becoming the grandparents our grandchildren deserve. Leave me a comment and tell me, what is one thing you are going to try this week? I read every single one. And if you know another grandparent who might need this, share it with them. Sometimes we all need a reminder that we are enough, just as we are. Until next time, friend, go love those grandbabies. You have got this. This is Grandma Rose sending you all my warmth. I will see you in the next one.